I see you, baby. Get your shine on.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, guys. Another Wednesday, another beautiful
Get your
Wednesday,
glow
6
up.
p.m. Central Standard Time. Intellectual Radio. Let's go. It is Brandy J, Chicago's Empress. Brandy J, the Alchemist. Yes, and today's show is always brought to you by yours truly, True Essence. We are a spiritual spa located 1605 West Roosevelt Road in Broadview. We specialize in hair care, nail care, lipo laser, event space, and so much more. You can check me out on IG at Brandy J underscore. That's Brandy 3 Ys J underscore. And also again, tune in to Intellectual Radio. We keep the content high over here. So how y'all doing another Wednesday, guys? Let's get it popping. This beautiful weather is coming, guys. We are in June. I'm loving it. Gemini season, stand up. Y'all know your girl is a Gemini. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'm so excited. I'm not telling y'all how old I'm turning. That's none of y'all business, just how old I look, okay? But yes, June 9th is my B day. So I'm just happy the weather is just taking a turn for the great. It's some great vibes, some good energies out here. And I'm just happy to be with you guys back another Wednesday. So jumping right into our topic for today, which is a continuation of last week's discussion, which was what defines a high value woman and a high value man. Again, what defines a high value woman and a high value man? So joining us today, we have a gentleman, Corey Ether. Yes, he is a actor, DJ, artist, just an entertainer all around. So he's going to be giving his input and just kind of balancing out the energies here because I kind of went in last week. I felt like I was fair with making sure that I balanced out the scales as far as men and women, but we also want a male perspective, right? We also want to tap into that energy as well. So he's going to give us his input, and it's just going to be dope, you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, if you guys want to lock in and call your girl, you can always reach me at 708-223-8953. Again, that's 708-223-8953 live again with your girl. So let's jump into this. So just a review of last week discussion was as far as a high value woman and a high value man. Now, let's start with the woman. Some of the points that I made as far as what makes a high value woman is one who knows her worth. She knows her worth. She's in tune with the creator. She's in tune with herself, right? She's kind hearted. No matter who you are, no matter how much you make, no matter what the situation is, she's consistent because that's her love and her heart, right? And she speaks and owns her truth. She owns her truth. So she's not easily swayed by money or provoke things or anything of that nature. She owns her truth, right? Also, she's always self improving, whether that's self improvement spiritually, whether that's self improvement financially, whether that's self improvement physically. You know, hey, listen, black don't crack. This is true. But listen, you got to eat healthy, you got to live a healthy lifestyle. So, a woman who knows who she is and also makes improvement to self develop herself is definitely considered to be a high value woman. And we certainly don't want to leave you kings out because I love you guys, right? We vibing, right? So, as far as a high value man, and I'm not going to hit all the points, just some points, in my opinion, is one who is a protector and a provider, right? Because, yes, you do want to provide and take care of your household, whether that's shared expenses with your spouse or whether that's you taking care of the whole household yourself. You also want to protect what's in that. So, yes, one aspect is providing, but also you want to protect what you provide for and protect the people whom you provide for, which also brings me to my next point, a provisionary, right? A strong man and a high value man is provisionary. He can see and be a forecast, just as if you look at the weather. Like I looked at the weather yesterday. I'm trying to see, hey, I'm having a rooftop party. What's the weather looking like? I need a forecast, right? So a high value man who is a provisionary, he forecasts things. He sees, hey, is there a recession coming or hey, is this man or this neighbor looking at my wife too much or anything like that? Hey, he's protecting. So he's a provisionary. He looks out for things ahead of time. So and also is someone who's sure of himself. A high value man is sure of himself in regardless to what he may be facing, in regardless to what good things or bad things. He's sure of himself. He's confident in that. He doesn't stribble away when hard times come. He stands firm in who he is. Why? Because he's sure of himself. That man, that goes a long way. It really does. Because life is going to happen. life is going to happen to me, you, or anyone. But as a woman, you want to know that your leader, your protector, your provider, he is sure of himself in regards to what turbulence come, because turbulence will come. There will be some waves, there will be some ups and downs. But can you stand the rain? Can you ride the wave? For sure, So that's another high ticket value as far as a high value man. And also, which is most important, I should have led with this, but I will end with this: the last shall be first, right? So, one who is in tune with the creator, right? You have to be in tune with the creator, in tune with high consciousness. He has a higher calling that he answers to that even goes beyond you and that even goes beyond him. So now that when you guys coexist together, this higher calling can now intercede on both of you guys on both of you guys' behalf, because he's answering to his higher self, which is God. So those are great things that brings forth a high value man. And also, I ended with some of the things that I felt like we as women can focus on. I think I briefly touched on the city girls. I briefly said, listen, big ups to the city girls. Nobody's dogging the city girls. Love you girls. You get your money. Let's go. But we can't project and keep projecting this propaganda for our children, which is, I have young children, I have a teenager. I don't want her to think, hey, it's get money, forget these men. No, you do need a man. You don't, that's not okay. And again, half of the girls that's projecting this type of music or this type of genre, propaganda, if you will, they're not even living the lifestyles in which they're projecting on the music videos in this music. They trying to be put up. They trying to be on the shelf, put up. Half of them are already put up. So just be mindful of what you intertangle with and what you give your energy to, because energy is a real frequency. So make sure you're on the frequency of love, right? So as far as a woman, some of the things we can focus on is one, self-love. A woman who loves herself and exudes self love truly within automatically should attract the type of energy that she wants. So first you have to be in tune with yourself, in tune with the creator, and truly love yourself. If you've been in a long committed relationship, take time to enjoy yourself. Take time to get to know yourself. Take time to be in tune with who you are. And even if you are out of the relationship or in the relationship, you need to still do that. Because sometimes you could be in a relationship with somebody for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and you still can possibly, yes, lose yourself, and or they think that they got you down pat. No, you don't have me down pat. I'm learning and growing and changing every day. So how is it that you know me and I'm just getting to know myself? So always remember to reintroduce others to the new you, to the new version of who you are, be it be your husband, be it be your friends or your parents or whomever. Reintroduce yourself, because evolution is a necessary factor of life, right? So also some of the things I feel like we can focus on is self-development. Let's make sure we link up with groups. There's a lot of groups, ladies, and I wish I could list them today, but I definitely, if you follow me on social media, I'll list some of the groups that I'm affiliated with and or that I believe is great affiliates as far as networking and developing your femininity. There's a lot of groups that's out here, and iron sharpens iron, right? So when you're around like-minded women, when you're around like-minded people that are getting money, that's physically and spiritually in alignment with the higher self, then naturally you're gonna fall into place. So being affiliated with different groups is great. And just to have a break from the house, it's not always about the ladies' night drinking and turning up. Sometimes it's about, hey, let me go to this event and let me be around some other women that's on the same frequency as me and see how they're developing their household, their business, their things, and see what I can take a page from. Because we all should be taking pages from one another's book. No, you should not take one book, don't take somebody else's book. Own your own book. Your book is your uniqueness. However, you should take a page from someone else's book. So yes, self-development is a great part of that. And lastly is one of the things I felt like we could work on is being honest with ourselves. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Something was funny on the radio. So I guess they were talking about Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey. I guess they had broke up. And a lot of people were commenting, basically saying, hey, she did the right thing and blase this and blase that. And the gentleman on the radio station, he basically was basically saying, hey, some of you guys don't look or act like Lori Harvey. And this is true. And it looks is not everything. So I'm just going to kind of put that aside. But let's just get to the at. She do defines feminine energy. And I'm not putting her up on a pedestal. No. But what I'm saying is that you have to know who you are. So be honest with yourself. If you know you around here cussing people out, if you know you out here, talking about as get all that city girl stuff, then you are not more than likely operating fully in your divine feminine, which makes you not as desirable as maybe someone on her caliber. It doesn't make you less than, it just means that you have to be honest with yourself and what you want to attract, you have to already be, right? What it is that you're looking to attract, a high value man, you have to already be a high value woman, and you have to do the research into what defines a high value woman. If you don't know some of that research, tune into last week's podcast. We broke that down a little bit, and we're going to continue to. We're all about high conscious conversations, but we also want to give practical conversations as well, something that we all need on a daily basis. So again, man, we are not going to leave you guys out. No, we are not going to leave you out. So some of the things I feel like you men can focus on is, again, one, self-love. Yes, I led with both of that for both parties because self-love reflects on both ends. Yes, man needs to learn what self-love is. If you feel like you got to go sleep with all these different women and all of this, you don't love yourself. Sorry, you don't love yourself. Well, I'm just no, you don't love yourself, bruh. If you got to do all of that, you don't love yourself. So what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you're, and then another thing is too, you're transferring energy. So be mindful of that, which is a whole nother conversation we'll dig into another day. Because we talk about STDs with sexual transmitted disease, but do we talk about spiritual transmitted diseases? Okay, let's rewind. Spiritual transmitted diseases, meaning that physically, oh, you good. You went to the doctor, health check, good, cool. But what about that spiritual transmitted disease? What about the energy and the aura of that person that you took on to you? What about their karma and their energies that you took on to you? So you have to be mindful of that. You, especially as men, because you guys tend to be a little bit more out there than we are. So self-love is a part of that, right? Also, some of the things that we could work on again is provisions. Provisions is not just providing. Yes, that's one aspect. But again, as I broke down, it is also being a foresighter. It is also being able to look into the future and be able to make plans in your family and have order. You create order. And then we as women, we bring the colors, we bring the vibrance, we bring the, all of those things, but you create the infrastructure. So part of that is being a provisionary, right? Also, too, learning and developing your masculine energy, whether that be being affiliated with certain groups or whether that be reading certain books or tuning into certain podcasts. Hello, knock, knock, who's there? So you want to make sure that you're developing who you really are as a man and your masculine energy. And two, also being honest with yourself. If you know that some of your ways is a little off, then hey, fine tune it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being honest with yourself and fine tuning the things that you believe that you need help with. But these are all practical things that I feel like we can all work on to get us to our divine place. And ultimately, we all desire a relationship, be it a marriage or just a significant other. But these relationships requires great intellect, great wisdom, great emotional intelligence, and much love. Love is the core of it, and love will always be. So, but love is also not enough. I know a lot of people love each other to death and still don't have anything to show for it. It's nothing but chaos. So love, honestly, is not enough. You have to have order. So we're going to help you today, hopefully in this conversation, bring a little bit more order and just be understanding that, hey, we're all not fully 100% there, but hey, with conversations like this, with topics like this, we can get closer to the goal. So your girl is coming back. I got my boy Corey Ether coming to the stage, y'all tune back in just a few more minutes. In the interim, if you guys want to check me out and call in, it is 708-223-8953. I love you for watching. Be right back.
Get your shine on. Get your glow up. One time. For the babies on the south side, the east side, the west side, The north side, Chi-Town. Hey, oh, mm-hmm. Do, 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 do. There's a song in your song. It can flow from short to long. In your song, you are the story. Getting past your past, struggling with your past. It'll pass, it'll pass. Hey there, over there, you're torn from where and there. It'll bear, you'll get there. I know what I know.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, guys. So I got a special guest in the building. Hey, I wish I had some drum roll. Hey, Corey Ether. Let's go. Artist, producer, DJ, actor, all around entertainer. And he has been my crime partner for the last couple days, doing a lot with me. And I appreciate
became
you.
a driver
He
recently
became driving Miss Daisy. I don't know how that happened, but listen, he is cool and lit.
off these gas prices.
Off these gas prices. Joe, I saw somebody at the gas tank literally doing this with the pump. Like, not just, she was literally trying to get every little drip drop.
Hey, every drop counts.
Every drop does count. Every drop does count.
Every drop.
So, yeah, I appreciate you joining me in today. So, today's conversation is what makes a high value man and what makes a high value woman. So, I want to hear some of the characteristics in your opinion, as far as what makes a high value man and woman.
Okay. Well, let's break down the word value for a moment.
Okay.
I think that value is up to everyone. I think that if you are looking for value, I believe that you should have some value of your own. Because I hate that question, that what do you bring to the table question.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of corny. Um, I think the better question is like kind of what we were talking about before we went live. We were talking about like a table. A table typically has 4 legs. So I think with two people, you typically have 4 legs. And I think that when an individual is able to stand on their own too, I think they should deal with somebody that knows how to stand on their own too.
Yeah.
And I think that once you have two people that can stand on their own too, you'll have a sturdy table. You'll be able to, put some things on that table. You don't have to worry about things falling over. And I think like that sturdy table another term for uh, a foundation,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you can't build anything great on a imbalanced or non-sturdy foundation. So I think as a man should have respect for himself. That starts, yeah, man needs to have respect for himself.
Yeah.
When it comes to how he deals not only with himself but others. A lot of times people will respect you. People's respect of you is based on the respect that you have for yourself.
Yeah.
So I've learned like the people that don't respect themselves most, they are disrespected the most.
I like that. That's a good point.
So I think that we should all learn to be our own biggest fan. Respect yourself, respect others, respect your body. I think that uh, how a man, what a man does, like as far as his emotions, a man should know how to control his emotions, and he should know how to control his manhood. He cannot be out here reckless out here in these streets, because there's nothing cool about a man going to sleep with a bunch of women. I don't think that's really cool, because there's this thing called access. I don't think you should just let anybody in or let anybody on.
I agree. 100%.
I think that says a lot, because you were talking about those, the STDs, but not exactly the physical stuff, but the spiritual
Sexually.
stuff,
Yeah.
the spiritual
Spiritual.
transmitted
Yeah.
diseases. Yes, still STD.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's important. I think women, same situation. The level of respect that you have for yourselves. How do you move out here in these streets? How do you move when people aren't looking at you?
Facts.
Um, Goes back to self respect. Who are you on social media? How do you treat people in real life?
Yes.
Your credibility is a big deal. I don't care how much money that you have. It's really about like your credentials. Who do people say that you are when you're not around? Because I've been to quite a few funerals in my life, and not everybody is getting a not everybody at the funeral is not in the will. So when that person's laying in that casket, they're talking about who that person was, not exactly what they had.
Yeah.
I think that's a big deal. I think that as a man, I think men should know how to. I think men and women should know their positions.
Absolutely.
I think men have positions that they should be playing that women don't play, and I think women have positions that they play that men don't play.
Absolutely, absolutely. So getting into the positions, because that kind of brings me to my next question,
Hmm.
as far as the energies being off balance, right?
Okay.
Because everybody's not knowing or fully aware of their role and their position. And do you feel like the energy is off balance as it pertains to women and men? Are women more masculine and are men a little bit more softer? And again, no offense to anyone. We're just asking questions to get opinions to be able to peel apart the layers. So do we feel like women operating too much in their masculinity, and do we feel like men is a little bit more of a softer version? 'Cause I hear some women say, "Hey, the younger guys, they're not, you know,
Handling their business.
handling their business. They're not, doing work around the house, the tools and things of that nature." And you hear some men say, "Hey, some women are, more aggressive and operating too much in their masculine energy." So it seems like the scales are unbalanced.
Yes, that a lot of times that's the case because a lot of these men and women have grown up in single parent households.
Yes.
I believe like it takes a man and a woman to come together to create life. A woman typically is, biologically, for since the beginning of time, she will carry that life for that 9 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That man is supposed to be there to protect his family. He's supposed to keep his family together. So once you have one parent go out of the household, it everything is on that one parent. So you have so many single parents out here, mothers and fathers. So a lot of these women out here are masculine
Mm-hmm.
because they never saw their father be around and take care of business the way a man should.
Right.
They only can go off of what their mother showed them and what their mother said, whether it was wrong or right, because their father was not around to correct and really show, hey, this is what a man's supposed to do. Right. So you have a lot of guys out here who are not doing their jobs because they have a lot of feminine qualities.
Qualities.
Sorry, characteristics. My bad.
Yeah.
Characteristics. So
Characteristics.
what? So I think that's an issue, but I think a bigger issue is that I think like um, men like create the opportunity for like the relationship. I think
Hmm.
like the man gets on one knee and says, "Hey, will you marry me?" I think the woman, she gives I'm sorry, access. Men give access to the relationship, women give access to the sex, right? So I think that a
You have
lot
to
of the,
break that down, Corey. I'm gonna
I
let you
can,
finish, but you
I
break that
can. You want me to
down.
break that
Oh,
down?
you're gonna have to break that
I'll
down.
break that down. All right. So, like, when a man grants access to the relationship, I'm not talking about boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm talking about marriage. He gets
Okay.
down on one knee. When it comes to sex, a woman is typically the one that opens that door because she has
True.
to let someone in, right? But it's up to the woman of who she lets in
Mm.
because when she lets a man in that is not working for what she's letting him into, he thinks it's okay to do the bare minimum
True.
because she's looking at the potential. I feel potential ain't promised.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Potential ain't promised. I also feel like uh you have to like people have to show you what's up. You know what I'm saying? I think people do a lot of talking. I think social media, you can be anybody that you want to be on social media. But I think a lot of people have to be honestly like that person that can show who they are, instead of that whole talking thing. That's one thing I've really learned. Like, man,
Yeah.
stop talking to me, bro. Show me what's
Right.
up.
But that goes back to your initial point, because who are you outside of social media? Who are you when I get around your friends, and how you show yourself to be around all these different people?
Yeah,
Because it'll show up your character.
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I think that when a woman gives a undeserving man her body, and he didn't work for that,
Man, say that.
And she likes him so much, or say she's that woman that she ain't had her back scratched in a while, you know.
Corey, I'm not about to play with you. Back scratch.
She ain't had a back. Look, we on,
I
yeah,
know. Yeah.
PG-13. So
Yeah.
she ain't had a back scratch in a while, you
Facts.
know. So she has to be very mindful of the person that she allows to scratch her back.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then when that back scratching happens, sometimes a child can come out of it. So many different things come out of that can come out of that. And then it's like, when the baby or something ain't there, at the moment, then when the baby comes, you got to do to say, oh man, let's cool. That's what's up. We gonna start a family, boo. Then you got some dudes like, man, I ain't ready for that.
I'm out.
It's the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
Which is why, they say get married first and all of that. But it's kind of like, I don't even think that saves the family much anymore.
Wow. So you don't think marriage following the ordained laws of the
Well, there's a
universe?
reason that there is the ordained laws of getting married first and having children.
Right. You
And
believe in the reasoning.
well,
But
the reason is because if you get married first, it's a little harder for folks to break the household up.
right.
The wife or the husband can't just take the child and run because that's kidnapping. But if you're not married, it's like you ain't supposed to do that. But then you got to go to family court,
Yeah.
and then you got to have the folks in your business. So I think that, people talk about how times have changed and things of that nature, which they have, but I really still feel like the family staying together is just so powerful.
Yeah, it is. And
It's so powerful. Go ahead.
it is. And I mean, it just shows you that there was a bigger play in agenda as far as the propaganda that was put out in our communities with the DHS office. You think about that with the link cards and giving people housing and things of that nature. Get rid of the man.
Yes.
Get rid of the man.
Yes,
Hey,
that's
we'll
exactly.
give you this. We'll give you your money. We'll give you your groceries. Give you your housing. But get rid of that black man. And then that kind of started the trend as far as, hey, neglecting the black man. And then we start to get more money and things of that nature. So, hey, I don't need a man. That was a whole trend.
And honestly, that's messed up. But at the
Yeah.
same time, as a man, it's a man's responsibility to say that woman chooses not to want to keep her family together, or that man chooses not to want to keep his family together. Say whatever reason things did not work out between a man and woman. Um, what's up with the kids?
Right. Absolutely.
Because I think a lot of people talk about like, the man. I hear a lot of women, I don't need no man. I'm good.
Right.
You good? Okay, boo. For how long?
Right.
You
It
see,
never lasts
you
long.
good in your 20s. You good in your 30s. You go feel it in your 40s though. You
Listen.
really go see it in your 50s and 60s. Shoot, if you ain't got a dog,
Right.
you know what I mean.
Facts.
As a man, you got certain dudes out here. They don't fight for that relationship with their children.
Facts.
So you have a lot of grown, not just grown adults. It's the same thing. But you have a lot of adults out here that say if they didn't grow up with like their father, and that man tries to come, back around later on in life, in their adult life, they're not trying to listen to that man.
No.
Like that,
You've already been tainted.
correct. Not even just tainted. Like I think that children more so need those parents in the earlier years of their lives.
For sure.
Like you can't sit up here and be around for a couple of years, a child's life disappeared, and come back around 10 some years later, because that child is going to be like, man, I have gotten through a lot of stuff without you. I don't think I need you right now.
Right.
I'm good. My mama looked out for me. And that man can't go back around and say, like, oh, well, your mama did XYZ. That child is not going to care because they're thinking about who they saw there, wrong or right.
Exactly. Their experience is what matters.
Yeah. So I just think that as men have to step up. Men have to stop lying to women. Men have to stop lying to women.
Yes.
And women, a lot of them have to stop lying to themselves.
Whoa. Whoa. Rewind. Say that again because I think I said that.
Yeah, men have to stop lying to women, and women have to stop lying to themselves.
For sure.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty good at telling the truth. I'm pretty good at telling the truth.
Are you really?
I'm probably too good at it. It upsets people. People don't dislike me for telling the truth before disliking me for being dishonest.
Yeah.
So I've learned, like, you have men that are dishonest with women to have a good time. I think if your game is really strong, you should be able to be honest with that woman, because if she likes you enough, she's going to lie to herself and stuff. Like I've heard some stuff.
Wait. Oh, you know what? Since this conversation is going, I have a lot of questions on my notepad,
Go
y'all.
back. Go back to your question.
No, because I'm not. Because you just said that. You said women doing enough lying to you. We gonna rewind what you just said.
A man should not be lying to a woman. If his game is that tight, he should be able to tell that woman the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And if she likes that man enough,
She'll lie to
she will
herself.
lie to herself.
Wow.
She'll lie to herself.
You know, I really want to argue with you. I really do. I
Go
want to
ahead.
argue with you,
Go
but
ahead.
I honestly believe that you're telling the truth.
I told you I don't lie.
Yeah. And I mean, why do people stay in relationships as long as they do? They're lying to themselves based off of, well,
Well, it depends.
yeah.
It depends. I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Okay.
Like that's why it goes back to people being able to stand on their own too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people stay in relationships they don't want to stay in because they can't afford to leave. So
Finances plays a huge part.
yeah, that's why I think you should be able to stand on your own too, at least before you get into the relationship.
Yeah.
That way that you can afford to leave if you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like if there are not kids involved, if you're not married and all that, then you should be able to, you know what I'm saying? Move
Right.
away from that situation if that's something that's not your thing, you know?
For sure.
But I don't think that a lot of people do that because they can't afford to leave.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
they'll just stick around, give the bare minimum because, shoot, it's the middle of winter. I'm trying to,
Right.
the heat, you know what I'm saying?
So guys, we definitely just chopped and screwed some of the
Sorry, y'all.
yeah, no, I love your collective energy. I love your input for sure.
Uh-huh.
So we just chopped and screwed as far as the value of the energy as the masculine woman and the man,
Correct.
soft or whatever. So let's end with this, because we don't want to bring a problem without having a solution.
I'm with that. I
All
love
right.
solutions. How you
We
talk about
love
problems?
solutions. We got to end with solutions, right?
Okay.
So how can men help bring out more of the femininity in a woman? And how can we as women bring out more of the masculinity in men?
Well,
So I'll start first.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
So as far as what I believe, some of the things that we can do to help promote more masculinity into men is, one, us operating in our femininity, us learning how to trust more. We've been so heartbroken in our past relationships and past deeds that we bring that into our new relationships. So you have to let that baggage go. What Erica Badu say, bag lady, you gonna hurt your back, dragging all them bags like that. Let them bags go. You can't get onto the next bus without them bags. Let some of them bags go. So yes, learning how to trust is a part of that. And then yes, learning how to develop your femininity so that your man can operate more in his masculine. If you've been a single parent for 5, 10, 15 years or whatever have you, masculine energy is properly prevalent in your energy, and that's okay. Your masculine comes along and he's ready to scoop you off your feet. You also too need to learn how to balance out those energies. So yes, getting a part, being a part of groups or networking with other women that are operating in a balanced energy can assist you. So, as far as bringing out more of the masculine energy, the way you bring that out to me is us learning how to operate in our femininity, which is some of the points I just gave. So, Corey, come on, give me some of your input. I'm trying to hear it.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like t- the way a man could operate better in his masculine energy and a woman operate better in her feminine. Say the
What can
word.
you do? What can you do as a man
I'm.
to assist a woman in operating more in her
That's
femininity?
not my job.
Ooh, Corey,
That's not.
that is
That's not my job.
so
It's not
mean.
mean.
It's not your
It's
job.
not my job to teach her how to be a woman. It's not her job to teach me how to be a man.
This is true.
That's where people get messed up at. Like I like honestly like if I get into a situation and a woman is talking to me about how much I could be more of a man, I'm gonna leave her where she at. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you not doing what you supposed to do, you can't tell me what I'm supposed to do. And I think, and we don't like, again, it goes back to knowing your position and your role. As a man, I can never sit up here and fix myself on telling a woman how she should be a woman because I'm not a woman. I am a man. I am very good at being a man. I've been a man all these years. I cannot tell a woman how to be a woman because that means I got some stuff inside of me that I ain't came out with, and I ain't got none of that.
Right.
So I just feel like a woman should really focus on being a woman and the best woman that she can be, and a man should do the same. So, prime example, how do I gauge the type of man I should be, I have a father. I have a father that's always. I'm blessed to have a father that's always been there.
Right.
He's. I've never seen my father do a emotional thing in my life. I've never seen him lash out at somebody in an emotional manner. I don't even think I've ever seen my father cry. Um, I've seen my father work hard. I've seen my father fight to have the best relationship he could with my twin brother and I. We have an amazing relationship.
Yes.
Um, that's what I see. I saw my grandfather do the same thing with my father and my uncle. So, like, I have my grandfather. He's a stand-up man. I look at the uncles in my family. These are stand-up men. So I am the man that I am today because I was able to learn from a bunch of stand-up men in my family. So I think that, as you know, women, a lot of times women look to their mothers on how to be the right woman. They look to their grandmothers on how to be the right women. Now, if we're going to go there, let's go there. A lot of women and men do not look to their elders anymore because either they feel like they don't know what they're talking about, they feel like what they're talking about doesn't fit with the times of today. And there's a reason this word tradition works. Tradition works because we didn't, when tradition was going on, a lot of the things that are going on now were not happening. When tradition was going on, when when there's slavery and the civil rights and all of that, the black family stayed together.
True.
Why? Because we understood the need of staying together. We understood the power of staying together. We have people now that can tell you how to leave a situation, but they can't tell you how to leave. They can't tell you how to stay. They can tell you how to leave. You know what I mean? So I think that's a problem. I think people need to learn how to work out their situations. I think social media has shown us like, oh, things are so what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Disposable.
Yeah.
Social media is giving people like, oh, well, if such and such can do it, I can too. And it's like, it doesn't work that way. You don't have the same cards.
Mm.
I think like when Beyonce and Jay-Z had their little situation, that's like one of the biggest examples I want to use. Like, when Jay-Z dropped the 444 album, he was talking about, look, the importance of the family staying together. No one wins when the family fuse. It's like, yeah, we could be good as individuals, but we're better together.
Absolutely.
Like if you look at Jay-Z and Beyonce, like you got Jay, he's a billionaire.
Right.
Now I love Sean P. Diddy Combs, and he's a super successful man. But there's a difference between being a married man and a bachelor.
Absolutely.
It just looks like I want to be married one day. Whew. So I don't know, but sheesh. So, but at the same time, it's like there's being married and being married. I think is the way to go. Jay Z and Beyonce did not get on social media bashing each other.
Discipline.
They kept their stuff private. The only way we knew about everything is because someone leaked the elevator video of Beyonce's sister beating up on Jay Z. Did Jay Z speak on it publicly?
No.
Nope. Did Beyonce speak on it publicly? Nope. But how did they speak on it? She dropped an album, Lemonade. Becky with the good hair did a bunch of numbers. Then Jay Z did what? He dropped 444, did a bunch of numbers. Then what did they do? They went on tour, became billionaires on us, healed in private, smiling in public, and that's the way it should be.
I like that.
But but a lot of people don't do that. It's like that's why relationships, in my opinion, like their issues, you keep that stuff off social media. Because if you have an issue between two people, you're quicker to come to a solution with those two people as opposed to that man
Everybody
getting
else.
his posse, that woman getting her posse. Well, such and such said you wrong. Well, such and such said you wrong. It's like keep people out of your stuff, man. You can solve problems that way and all of that. Because guess what? Everybody would have been talking about Beyonce if she'd have went out here on social media and started dogging Jay-Z just to take him back.
Right.
That ain't funny.
Well, Danny Lay did it.
Look at Danny Lee. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. When
Right. Yeah.
once you do that,
Yeah. You set up the play for
you
everybody to
you
intercept, and
look
then
you look kind of goofy.
yeah, this is
This
true.
is why you keep your stuff private. You keep people out of your stuff. And I guarantee, like everybody thinks stuff is supposed to be so happy and peachy and fun all the time, and it's just like no. Like when you're building, it's not fun building, but at the same time, it's like you can't build by yourself.
No.
Like if you got one person passing a brick, you got another person laying a brick, and both of those people, that brick passer, that brick layer, have to be on top of their jobs at all
Absolutely.
times.
And they both matter.
Correct. And it's kind of like I've learned, like, in relationships, like, everything is not going to be perfect, just like the weather isn't perfect.
Right.
But do people have to stop building when the weather's bad, depending on what the weather is looking like and depending on what you're building?
Right. Absolutely.
So you have to be able to, deal. Every problems happen, but like we said, you have to be able to have those solutions to weather that storm. And I
Yeah.
think that when you look at the Jay-Z's and Beyonce's, when you look at Denzel and his wife, when you look at all these different folks, it's like the married folks that's keeping their stuff out the media and all of that. It's like boom. But
Right.
see, even with Will Smith and Jada, everybody had all that speculation, entanglement, which he should have never said anything about.
Right.
Will has never publicly really talked about their relationship for real until Chris Rock got slapped. He lost it.
Yeah.
But he, as a man, as a human being, it just showed like, man, he's been holding a bunch of stuff in.
Yeah.
But it goes back to keeping your stuff at the crib. Ain't no
Yeah.
red table talk.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Definitely keeping things contained because that keeps all the naysayers and everybody's opinions out. But you're gonna give me a solution, Corey. You think you slick because you went around it, and I'm not going. I want a solution from a masculine to a feminine as far as what you can do as a masculine to assist your divine feminine in being more feminine. You came into a relationship and maybe she's a little bit more masculine than you would like her to be. How, without leaving the relationship, without dogging her, without creating more havoc, can you assist her in tapping into her femininity? Give me one. I'll wait.
I can't. I'm gonna tell you why. Because because me personally,
Uh-huh.
because I've dated women that they had issues in that, and I just kind of feel like that's not my job. And I
True.
and what I mean by that is this: if I date a woman, and my uncle told me this some years ago. Shout out to my uncle Damon. He's married to my aunt. They've been married for about 20 years now.
Okay.
He's married to my father's sister. And he told me some stuff about 6 years ago. This was the same year my twin brother and his wife got married. And he said, nephew, do not date a woman that does not have a healthy relationship with her father.
Wow, that's deep.
Because what I've learned is a lot of young ladies that do not have a healthy relationship with their fathers, a lot of them do not respect men. Now, they won't say that off top, but if you ask them a simple question, because I say, hey, do you think women respect black men? Some of them say nope. Some of them pause and say nope, but I have not gotten one yes. I get that I love black men, but love and respect are two different things.
Wow, they are. They
Love,
definitely are.
like love and respect are two different
For
things.
sure.
Like if I feel like if the respect and loyalty ain't there, like why are you?
Yeah.
Like I'd rather you respect and be loyal to me, and to me that's love.
Wow. Okay.
Because you're not going to be on the best page with everybody all the time. Like when you have an issue with a person, you could be upset with them, but you respect them enough to never put you all's business out there in the street.
Absolutely.
You're loyal enough with them that you are not going to lay up with somebody and pillow talk about y'all issues. So I think that as a man has to be the best man that he can be, period. No matter what type of person he's dealing with, even if he's with himself, like just by himself, he has to be the best man that he can be, but he has to be able to pay the bills. Like as a man, if you walk around beating your chest, so I'm a man, all right, bro. Um, you can't be walking around and say, all right, babe, we gonna split the rent.
Right.
Like pay the rent, bro. She gonna handle the the utilities.
Right.
I think it's like a team effort. I think that men just feel like because they have, a man part and a deep voice and they can check off mail on a job application. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And make some babies.
Right.
That doesn't make you a man.
So pretty much you answered the question. I just had to piece apart what you were saying. So in order for a woman to operate, how you would assist a woman operating more to her femininity will be you
Being the best man you could be.
being the best man you can be,
Mhm.
and then also to providing so that she can relax and not be as in
Are we
her.
as a single man? You have to be able to take care of yourself and be a
Yes.
man.
Yes.
And as a woman, A woman has to be able to take care of herself. I'm sorry, I don't get really excited when a woman like, oh, I pay my own this, I
Right,
pay
you
my own that.
supposed to do
I'm
that.
like, hey,
Everyone's
boo. I'll be
supposed to
like,
take care of themselves.
hey, boo,
Like,
look at you being a
right,
fully functional adult.
right.
You want a cookie?
Facts,
It's like
definitely.
that doesn't make you special.
Absolutely,
It does
absolutely.
like and that's another thing. Like I think like even when it comes to like relationships now, I think people overinflate their market value. Because we have to be honest with
There
ourselves.
you go.
You can only I feel that you can only acquire things that you qualify for. So you have to be able to afford that car that's on the lot. You have to be able to
My check,
afford
my
that
check.
house. You
That's
know what I
that's that's
mean?
dope. You got to.
You
Hey,
have
listen. You can only qualify.
for what you can afford.
Period.
So prime example, and it's gonna sound crazy. Like if you see the guys that have the resources, the money, and all that other stuff, right? They typically want a woman that she doesn't even have to have a bunch of money, but if she has her own money, super awesome. But if she can keep herself up and look fine and be and apply that pressure and be the best woman that she could be in the house, oh man, that actually makes up for pan
Some.
have something. I mean, I'm serious. Like,
Right.
like, take care of yourself, take care of the crib, take care of the kids. That's cool. Because honestly, it's like that boss stuff is cool. It's like, oh yeah, we're what's that? Couple goals,
Yeah.
like all like I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Man got his own money, he a boss. Woman, she got her own money, that's she a boss. That's cool. But who taking care of the kids? Who is raising the kids? Because I'm
Right.
sorry, I'm not gonna depend on the school or the daycare to raise my child.
Absolutely.
Nah, we're not doing
Nah.
that. We're not doing
And
that.
no, absolutely. You just brought up some good points because especially as a woman, you want her to be in the home, taking care of the kids, making sure the home is ran
Taking care of herself.
taking care of herself, everything. So I mean, it's all around, and I really appreciate you, Corey, giving some good feedback
That's
today.
why I'm single now.
Do you say that's why you're single now? Well, I'm single too, but guess what? We're gonna find hope.
It's
Hope
hope.
is
It's
out
hope.
there. It
You smell
is.
that? That's hope.
Yeah. It's hope, y'all. It's hope now. But in the interim, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all didn't get a chance to check in with us. But again, the number is 708-223-8953. We will be back again next Wednesday on Intellectual Radio. Let's go. We are tuning in live every Wednesday. Mr. Corey Ether just gave us some great advice. I love it from the masculine energy. Great information. Anything you want to leave us with, King?
Um, yeah. Follow me on Instagram at Corey Ether, CoreyEther. New music on the way. Sneaky link. I have a stage play for the Return of Oz. That is July 30th. Is at some theater in Morgan Park, something like that. I'll give you all information later. I'll be going on tour this summer as well, starting August 18th. I'll be in Seattle. I'll be in Phoenix, LA, Houston, San Antonio, ATL, Louisville, Kentucky, Dubuque, Iowa, Gary, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois. We're trying to get Dallas, Texas added, but I'll be all over the place. And yeah.
Hey, that was a lot, y'all. Y'all better check out my boy. We tuning in every Wednesday. And of course, IG Brandy J _. That's Brandy 3 Ys J _. You know what's going on. Intellectual Radio. Make sure y'all tune in every Wednesday, 6 p.m. But also check out our other content that we have on our show. And again, we just love y'all for tuning in. Y'all turn up tomorrow for the Girl B Day 6-9. Let's go. Let's go. Love you guys.
Later.
Struggling with your past, it'll pass. It'll pass. Hey there, over there, you're torn from where and there. It'll be.